This is coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
Respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role model every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Nackie and Carl.
Good morning, Nackie.
Good morning, Carl.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Episode 28, Season 4 of the Faika Podcast. I'm your host, Carl. With me is the now world-famous Nackie. Good morning, Nackie.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, we're going to get into your fame here today.
No fame.
And today we're going to talk about Danny Osi Perez. We are going to pay tribute to the man who gave us a shot and talk about how we paid that forward this weekend. We're going to talk about our show with Neo and Koa, our midweek show. And then we're going to definitely talk about our weekend with Snackie with Nackie and the two people that we blessed yesterday with gifts of $1,000 apiece. That's our show today. Nackie, what's good?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I had a fabulous weekend, I'd just like to say. Good morning to Yvette Manamea.
Good morning, Yvette.
Mel McManus, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. I had a great weekend. I can't even complain about it. We had Bible study. We had Fongo Kakalo prayer meeting every morning. That's how we start our morning. I think that's why life has been especially good. It's just we get the word every morning. Good morning, Mom. Tayao Manuia, Alene.
Good morning, Auntie.
Tammy. Good morning, Tammy. Oregon
Rodandi
checking
family?
in. Yes, Oregon checking in. Thank you for tuning in this morning. We're going to ask you to share. A lot of people donated this week, last 6 days. So I just want to make sure everybody gets an update. We had a great weekend. Friday, I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm currently on vacation. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh, ooh.
I can give you all kinds of PBD work. I forgot about that.
Oh, gosh. Good morning, Lisa. My niece Lisa is on. Good morning,
Morning,
Vic.
Lisa.
Vic is on. Me and Vic. I used to work with Vic.
Yeah?
At Yellow Freight. It's now YRC Freight. I worked there for a long time. And
So you're
me
a
and
Teamster?
Vic, yes. Yeah, you don't know nothing about that.
I was a Teamster.
Yeah. Bet. And me and Vic worked at Yellow, and we worked closely together. And me and her have had some really good laughs. And so, good morning, Vic. Thank you for tuning in. Valerie Limutel, Cloud, good morning.
Good morning.
Geraldine Ruello Pedro, hi. Good morning.
Morning,
Thank you
Geraldine.
for tuning in. So every day we start our day in our prayer meeting, and it doesn't, I'm not that religious, but I believe in God, right?
I put it very spiritual. I'm not
spiritual.
extremely religious, but
Yes.
very spiritual.
Yes, that's it. And so it doesn't matter what denomination you are, you can join our morning prayer group. It's at 6 a.m. So if you're an early bird, let's go. I'll give you the Zoom code. But we go in there and we listen to the First Lady Audrey, who her voice really makes my day. And when church was open, the favorite part of church for me was worship, and so I love that First Lady Audrey. Her voice is killer. So
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
that's a great way to start your day.
great.
With a great voice, singing the word of God.
Singing the word of God. So she has an amazing voice, and it's not they don't pray in Samoan. It's both English and Samoan, and most of the time it's everybody takes turns praying, and they for some reason have chosen a handful of us to read the morning Bible verses. And so me, Carl, Florence Masoli, and Molly Cassidy and Lurleen Masoli have been taking turns reading scriptures, which is in Samoan. So
You ladies have been doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Somehow I got lumped
Carl.
into your group, but
Yeah,
it's
we forced you.
It is a wake up because you need to be. Your mind needs to be right
Yeah.
when you're not a fluent speaker of Samoan.
Yes.
If you're going to read from the Bible in a prayer group, you
Yeah.
gotta get your mind right before that happens.
Yeah. So I really enjoy it every morning. I'm like all summed up, barely up, sleep in my eye, and I flip open the Bible and we tune into Zoom. Thank God she doesn't turn the cameras on. We're just everybody. Okay, yeah, she just turns the camera on. I have a camera story, but I'm trying to keep it G-rated. Anyway, it's everybody gets on. We read, listen to prayer and sing and worship. It's great. So Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Ale, good morning, Alibaba. Pep,
Baba.
good morning. Good morning. So Ale Sanga, is my nephew who I was there when he was born. That's how old I am. Okay, anyway. Florence Masoli's sister.
Good morning, Flo.
And brother Tony. Good morning. So that is us every morning. We were just talking about reading scriptures in the morning. Our Bible study gives us our boost that we need to start the day. And,
Shout out to Flo Masoli for keeping us in order,
Yes.
keeping us on time, and helping us not embarrass ourselves in
Right.
Fono Kakalo.
Right. So we have a good time. And it's actually pretty funny because not afterwards we talk about where we think we messed up and like we're so hard on each other that we think we messed up a word or something, and we really it's really us
Yeah, it's in our own head.
and I love that we're all encouraging and loving on each other, so thank you for that. What else happened this week?
We had Koa and
yes
Koa and Neil on Tuesday to talk about their new show.
Yes.
A new show. It's on the Utopia page, I think, right?
Yes, it's on the Utopia page. They came on Tuesday, and it was a great conversation. Neo and Koa will Fireside Queer Talk. That's what their podcast is called, Fireside Queer Talk. And Neo and Koa are the hosts, and it's starting August 23rd at 5 p.m. You'll need to go to the Utopia San Francisco page, Utopia San Francisco, and check out their podcast. It's going to be a great show. We talked to them on Tuesday and got a little insight on what they're going to be talking about. So tune in August 23rd at 5 p.m. Neo and Koa. It's going to be a great show.
It was a good talk with them on Tuesday, and they kind of gave us a rundown of what the format's like, and it's really generational differences between the millennials and the baby boomer generation. So you'll hear Neo's piece, and then kind of his perception of things and of issues in the LGBT community.
Right.
And then you'll hear Koa's, who is a student and a millennial. So good to see the two generations talking.
Yes.
We always
yes,
talk
yes,
about
yes,
how
yes.
you and I are Generation X. Nobody even knows we're around.
Right.
We just keep our heads down, and
mind
the
our own
millennials
business.
and the boomers shoot at each other, and we
Right.
keep our heads down.
Mind our business, mind our own business, and keep it moving. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Neo and Koa are going to be not going at it, but discussing their different points of view. So
Yeah, and we always talk about this. Once again, there's something for everybody in PI
Right.
media. There are shows, there's social media, there's podcasts, radio shows. There's all kinds of different Pacific Islander media out there. So find one that's for you. If we're not
Yes.
for you, then go try Neo, go try For the Cultures, KavaCast. There was a Spam Musubi
Village Podcast.
Village Podcast.
Village Podcast had a debate about Masubi.
Yeah.
They talked to Lala. Oh, I forgot his name. Lala is a tattoo artist.
Right, from Fred Frost, right?
Fred Frost in
Yeah.
Utah, and he was on the podcast, and they were talking about what do you like about musubi? Do you like your spam on top or bottom or middle? So it was very funny. It was
Yeah.
very funny. So go check out Village Podcast, KavaCast, Sorry About It. Oh my gosh, there's tons and tons
Real
and tons.
Tautala?
Yes. Oh, Afrotene, the real Tautala, which is one of my favorites. So go check her out. Go follow her page. I love her.
Be careful if you follow Afrotene, because she will twist you up into linguistic knots, and you won't even know you're getting twisted up.
Right.
She does it in a way that you're like, are you coming at me? I can't tell whether you're coming at me or not.
Yeah,
And then
so-
if she turns it up a notch, then you definitely know she's coming
Yes,
at you.
I love her. Also, the Music Box with Eli and Diggy.
There's a topic. We were
There
on
you
their
go.
show last Friday.
Yes, we were on their show on Friday. We were talking about Poly by Design, the Faika podcast, and our new thing, Snackie with Nackie. And
my favorite part on the show, on the Music Box with Eli last Friday, was us giving him props for sitting in his studio way back when in FCC Free Radio in the iconic Studio 2B.
Right.
And having him tell us that we could do a podcast and have us walk out of there going, is he crazy? We could never come up with enough content to do a podcast. And 3 years later, here we are. Being guests on his show again, and coming back with our own show. So thank you, Eli, for giving us the nudge, because I'm not sure if without that conversation, it may have happened, but it would have happened a lot later.
Right.
So thank you, Eli.
Thank you, Eli. The Music Box Show. The Music Box Show. Go follow him on Instagram. And Eli is with Show Enough Entertainment. Download the Nice app and then listen to his show every Friday. We love Eli. So we did his show. And a big shout out to him and his crew, Eli, Diggy, and their whole crew that was there that Friday. They donated to Snackie with Nackie $150. Oh my gosh.
That's a lot. That's too many 50 cents.
That's a lot of 50 cents. That's a lot of 50 cents. So they're covered for the next 2 years.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the 50 cent increments for Snackie with Nackie.
Yes.
But real quick before we move on, off of Eli and the Music Box, shout out to FCC Free Radio. If you are looking for a place to start out your podcast and you don't have the money to go buy microphones and cables and mixers and all those different things, FCC Free Radio is a great spot to start. Cisco Big Body Radio got his start there. We got our start there. Eli was obviously there. George Pahulu was there. Neil was going to be there if COVID didn't come. So there is some Polynesian history with FCC Free Radio. Check them out.
Yes. Great place to start. And we love John because he was really good to us. So big shout out to John Miller. I just wanted to shout out some people who are on this morning. My mama, of course. Eva Sal, Neo Vervel with the Fireside Queer Talk is on. Good morning, Neo.
Neo with the Neo Show. Neo with Hot Siva.
Oh my God. Hot Siva.
The busy man, Neo Vervel.
Right. Phyllis Fa'asua Maliek. Good morning. Nellie Rodriguez checking in from the state of Washington. Nathan Chambliss and Hini Toa Lepai. Ooh, I like that. Helen, good morning, Helen. Reine, Zita, good morning. Leonore. Oh, Bonnie, good morning, Bonnie. Lotto is on. Good morning, Lotto. Shannon Marcos Hisatake, good morning, Shannon. Eva Seal, Vanessa Arena. Oh, good morning, Mama. Vanessa is Mio's mama.
We're going to talk about Mio.
We are going to talk about Mio in a little
and
bit.
Vanessa. We'll talk about both
Vanessa,
of them.
both of them. They go hand in hand. Buani Tau. Okay, and then we have Taufa Vekosa Kantanibao. Good morning, Deanna Welch. I think
good morning, Deanna.
Good morning, Deanna. Loto, who is fully recovered from COVID-19. It's good to see him up and about. He was making me laugh all day yesterday, so I love Loto. Good morning. So, yeah, Loku, we had Bible study, we had prayer meeting, we had Eli, and what else? Yeah,
and one of the things that I guess it would just segue into, we're very much into paying things forward. So
yes,
we like to find people that are on the way up and that could use a hand, and we're going to talk about Snackie with Nackie. But one thing we want to make sure we get in, so we're going to put this at the top of the show, is Danny Osi Perez.
Right.
Danny passed away on Saturday, I think, last week. And we didn't get a chance to really talk about it. We put some things out there on social media, but we met Danny Osi Perez because we wanted to get into. We wanted to go listen to music at the IRF
and interview
people. So we thought, well, let's see if we can get press passes, but they don't know who we are. We were brand new as an organization.
Right.
We called him up. I think we swapped a couple emails, and he was completely like, hey, let me know what you need. What do you need? Whatever you need, we can do it. And I'll let Nackie tell the other side of the story. But we wanted to get some pictures and do some promos of the IRF the night before. Mm-hmm. So Nackie went down to the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds, and to get some pictures and see, if she could run into Danny, maybe get a word with him. And he gave us that saying, that Danny Osi Perez saying, whatever you need. He really came through for us. So it's important for us, in the spirit of who he was and how he lived his life, that we do things much in the same way of that. What do you need? What can we do for
Right.
you? Whatever you need that I can do, I'm going to do. So why don't you
Right.
talk about your experience with him that morning?
Right.
Or that
Yeah.
evening?
We met Danny early on of PBD. We were just starting PBD and figuring out what we were doing. And Danny Osi Perez is Island Reggae Festival. That's what he is. He is the idea and the push and everything of Island Reggae Festival. Early on in PBD, maybe 3 years ago, we wanted to. It was huge, so we started sharing his flyers and just sharing everything about IRF. And of course, we push and promote positive Pacific Islander role models. And so that's what Danny has always been. And so we decided to get a hold of him.
I just realized it goes back a little further, that we had, remember we were doing meets,
Yes.
like meet these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And we did one with an athlete.
Yeah.
It ended up being related to him, but it was, again, in the push of, let's just help people. So we
Right.
were going to like sporting events
Right.
and finding Pacific Islanders that were playing in like volleyball tournaments or basketball
Yeah.
tournaments, youth events.
Yeah.
And then meeting them and writing about them.
Right. So going back, my daughter was playing in volleyball tournament, and we were talking about how PIs, no matter where we are, no matter where we go, no matter if we don't know each other, we always acknowledge each other when we see each other. We always go malo, talofa. Even if we're just walking by, we acknowledge one another. And so my daughter was playing on the volleyball court, and I was watching these two Pacific Islander Samoan girls walk by the court. I don't know them. I'm sure my daughter didn't know them at the time, and they were walking by, and they seen my daughter was the only Pacific Islander girl on the court. They stopped and watched her for a little bit, and I was watching them watch her, and I just knew that they didn't know my lay. And so they were, after watching them for a little bit, then they sat down to watch the game. And I walked around the court, and I walked over to them, and I asked them if they were Pacific Islander, and they said yes. And I said, do you know my daughter, Miley? And they said, no, we just seen a Samoan girl playing, and we stopped to support.
And you said they were cheering, like
They were cheering.
like they knew her, like it was
Right.
their sister.
Right. So they were cheering for her and everything. And that's what made me walk over there to say hi to them. And when I was talking to them, they had no idea who my daughter was. They just seen a Samoan girl playing on the court, and they stopped. Oh my gosh. They stopped to support her. And I thought, oh my God, this is what we do, right? This is what we do. And they were young, and I took their picture. And I posted it on Instagram, on our social media, and I told this whole story of how, as Pacific Islanders, we recognize each other wherever we go. We stop to support even when we don't know each other. So I post the meet, and Danny posted, he said, hey, those are my nieces. Great job. This is how we raise our family. And he and I started conversating on Instagram first. And
Well, we kind of flipped out because we knew who Danny was. He
Yes.
was the guy behind IRF. So that little note in that email and that message on social media, Nackie and I were like, oh my gosh, that guy from IRF is talking to us. Like we saw his niece.
Yeah.
So that was, again, just trying to help people and promote positive Pacific
Right.
Islander role models. That's how we
Yeah.
ended up getting tied in with him.
Yeah, and so when IRF came out later on, we knew that we wanted to push and promote positive Pacific Islander role models, and we all know that is what Danny is and who he is. And so we got a hold of him. I contacted him through Instagram, and I said, would you mind if I come down to San Jose to the Santa Clara
County
Fairgrounds? And he said, sure, we're setting up on this day. Come on down and I'll do it. So I get down there, and we met in person for the first time, and we hugged, and and he was like, whatever you need. And if you know Danny, that's what he says all the time is whatever you need, let me know, whatever you need. And so we did the interview. We did a promotional video for Island Reggae Festival. We got in my car and he said, let's take a tour and I'll show you where everything is going to be. And so Mena was with me, and Mena and Danny got in my car and we rode around, and he said, this is where the big stage is going to be. And to see his face, he's so excited to talk about helping the artists. You know that artists are not promoted very well in regular or whatever mainstream. And so that's what Danny was doing, was taking Pacific Islander music artists and giving them a stage so that they can perform and so that they can share their music and that they can get seen. And that's what Danny did. And so he was so excited when we were driving around talking about, this is going to go there and this is there and so is going to be there, and sis, whatever you need. And he says that all the time. And at the time you're like, oh yeah. But to watch him, so we go to Island Reggae Festival and we get in there and he's like, whatever you need, just let me know. And of course we're not bothering him. We are not bothering him.
Trying to stay out of the way.
We're trying to stay out of the way because we're just so grateful to be there. Hey, Adele.
Morning, Adele.
We're just so grateful to be there. He's checking on us. He gives us a cart. He tells us, put your stuff here. And we're just little peon. We're just a little, you know what I mean? We're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like Island Block Radio is there. We're like, oh my God, Cisco is there. Eli is there. And here our little Moimimi asses are over there trying to hold a mic. Can we interview you? And so it was really the first time we were doing interviews backstage.
So it didn't take too long. Here's a shout out for our producer, Tamina. We were at the small stage and, I was looking around and Latasha Lee was singing, and I was thinking, man, we need to get pictures of her. And so I'm like headed to the stage and I'm looking around going, where is Mena? We need to get these pictures. She's got the other good camera. We had two good cameras. And as I'm like standing at the barricade where security is, and I'm looking around like, where's Mena? I'm looking on the side of the stage. I'm looking over on the front where the rest of the photographers. Mena's on stage. Right. She is literally on stage right next to Latasha Lee taking her picture. And I was like, dang, didn't take too long to get comfortable with the whole press thing. Yeah,
it was awesome. So, Danny gave us those kind of a lifetime of experience. Danny gave us that. He gave everybody that. He gave the whole Bay Area. And some people flew in from Washington. I know people that flew in from Washington. I know people that drove in from Vegas and LA to come to the Island Reggae Festival to see artists that you will not see on mainstream, wherever.
Or the
media.
dance showcase or the tattoo,
yes.
or all those things. It was a cultural event for the Pacific Islanders. And Danny Osi Perez was the person behind it. There are probably hundreds of thousands of people that have those experiences that they had at IRF, that they had with family, friends, loved ones, going to see your favorite island reggae star or mainstream stars like UB40.
Oh my gosh,
there's just a ton of memories that he leaves the Pacific Islander. That's the legacy that he leaves behind with people who didn't even know him. Obviously, the people that do know him and love him and know how dear he is to all of us. So in that, we're going to talk later about how we try to pay it forward like Danny did, but we remember Danny today. We wanted to make sure that we had time to pay our respects to Danny and his family and his loved ones.
Kids,
That was a good man.
That was a very, very good man. And he worked in San Jose, the gang task force. So, he was doing he's been doing community work for years and years and years and years and years. And he's well known in the community for his work. But Island Reggae Festival, I think that's the main thing that everybody knows him at. And
he did so much more. That was the high profile piece of his life.
So
a lot of people in the Bay Area, well, more than the Bay Area. We had you had Halaus coming in from, like you said, Washington.
Yeah, him and Shai did the
Hawaii.
Yes, Shai did the dance showcase, and so they did a great job with that. I mean, he had artists come and put their artwork, tattoo artists set up and do tattoo. I mean, artists PI artists were
Right.
showcasing their work and were able to sell their pieces. It
The
was
Pacific
it was a-
Islander food trucks
Yes,
are out there. They got the
yes.
profile, to be there at that event. And,
Yeah.
he was undercharging vendors a lot. If there- you know what I mean? Like there was points where I think there were people who were like, Danny, you need to charge a little bit more for that. But he was big with that. And the way when I was talking to him, I think the thought of the smaller stage was we have some smaller, island reggae acts, Pacific Islanders, that aren't going to make the big stage. Like they're not going to get on stage with UB40
Right.
or Jordan T. You know what I mean? Like, they're just
Yes.
not going to be that. So we'll make a smaller side stage for them, so they still have
Yeah.
a way to profile their music.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love Danny, and I was sad to hear the news, and he was getting healthy, and so big shout out and big love and prayers to his family.
Huge loss to the Pacific Islander community.
Huge loss, huge. Good morning, Rhoda Samoa. Good morning, Dora Iunga. Tony Silifaiva. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Mel. Evelina Braga Cook.
Good morning, Lil Braga.
Let's see. Hold on a second. Felicia Ioane. Good morning. Eva Sao. I got her. And Maury. Good morning, Maury. Nicholas Tafua. Good morning, Nicholas. Terry Lelea Senior. I hit the vowels. Buani is saying happy anniversary to her sister Nani and Larry. Happy anniversary. And Akanese Leo, good morning. Jeanette, good morning. Mary Vevea, hey
Good
Mary.
morning, Mary. We got 2 members of the Fort Bragg Timberwolves alumni
Nice.
on the show.
There you go. Go Fort Bragg Timberwolves. So, Danny or what time is it? Oh, we can break now, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
Danny Osi Perez, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Big loss to the PI community. I had to get that in there because he was a
Lord.
huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
He was a huge. I think that's why he cared a little bit about you. But yeah, rest in love to brother Danny and the whole Perez family.
miss you.
Yeah, we miss you. God bless you.
Hear my humble prayer, oh Lord, help to pull me through. Sweet, sweet, sweet Jesus, I turn to you.
And we're back. You're listening to the Faika podcast. I am Nackie. With me, as always, is Carl.
Good morning.
Good morning. That was our tribute to Danny Osi Perez. So rest in love and God bless his family. Thank you for everything that you have done for us and the community and all the people that you've touched.
Yeah, thank you to the family for raising a man like that.
And sharing him with
And
all of
sharing
us.
him with all of
right?
us.
Yeah.
And thank you to him for living the life the way he did.
Yes. I wanted to say good morning to Brother Ricky in Aotearoa. Good morning, Ricky.
Good morning, Ricky.
Mata Elefi now. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. We have someone from Kansas City, Sia Afele. Hello from Oklahoma. Right? Is it
Kansas
Oklahoma?
City? Is
No,
it-
Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. Whoo! I got you. Good morning, Epi. Thank you so much for tuning in. If we can ask you to share, so we can make sure that everyone that tuned in and donated to Snackie with Nackie gets all the information. Ene Sarita Pita, right? Ene. Whoo! Reese Tongyai Carey, good morning. Lou. Oh, hi, Lulu. Lou Masina is on.
Lulu.
Yes, Essence of Mana this week.
Normally she's right down the hall from us.
Yeah. Lulu, let us in, Lulu. Lulu is a part of the Essence of Mana team. They have Talanoa Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Go follow Essence of Mana. Their Talanoa Tuesday is huge. They are on at 7 p.m. It's Lulu, Anthony, and Nani. They're with Asian American Recovery Services. This week, they talked to Sean Gordon, who is not even in the state of California, but he is and I'm quoting somebody, that Sean Gordon is a staple of the Bay Area.
Yeah?
Yep.
He's
So-
in Wichita, Kansas.
He's in Kansas. Yes. And also go check out that interview. It's on the Essence of Mana page, Facebook page. They also have right now, registration is open now for their Essence of Mana Parent Project. They're going virtual for this cohort. It's starting September 17th at 6 p.m. via Zoom.
What a great opportunity, because
yes.
you don't have this opportunity when it's in person.
Right.
You're going to need to bring kids. You're going
Right.
to need to make the trip down there.
Yes.
You can get all the information and the great instruction
Yes.
and guidance of the Essence of Mana Parenting
Right.
class virtually from your living room, from wherever you need it. This is an opportunity that everybody that needs this kind of, that works for court orders, it
Right.
works for just honing parenting skills. All these things available virtual, and I think that's an opportunity that to have the class that
Yes.
some people wouldn't have normally.
And it's free. It's a free class, a free 12-week
You
program.
don't have to fight traffic.
Yes.
There's no
No.
parking. You can eat your
Everything
own
is free.
food.
Yes. It's free. So there you go. Donald Mamea. Good morning, Donald.
Mamea
Good
family.
morning. Lisa San Miguel is watching. Thank you for tuning in. Kalepi. Hi, baby. Good morning. Kalepi Adele. Fili Ingafo, good morning. So we're going to ask you to share the podcast, because we want as many people to hear and know and whatever about Snackie with
Information.
Nackie.
We're going to talk about
yes.
the census. We're going to talk about COVID-19 right now.
Right.
And then after we get done paying the bills, we're going to get into the fun part of the show. It's Snacky with Nackie. We're going to talk about the two people that we blessed yesterday.
Right.
What an amazing day. One of the
Right.
best days. Literally, there's a short list of truly great days in my life, and to see the gratitude and love that people felt yesterday, one of the very best days of my life. Seeing people
Me too.
So touched.
Yeah.
So let's get done paying the bills. I was on
Yes.
a Ethnic Media Services Zoom on Thursday, I think, Thursday or Friday, and they were talking about the science of COVID. Big shout out to Dr. Samoa, because a lot of the things that they were talking about on the Zoom, I'd already heard from Dr. Samoa.
Nice.
So some of the things, though, I did learn, they did talk about the effects of COVID-19 on, and when I heard a lot of the groups talking, I was thinking, the Pacific Islander is the hardest hit of them, but it really stressed some of the things that we already talk about. And again, we'll talk about this as Snackie with Nackie, the essential
Yes.
workers. Most of them are people of color. Most of the people that are that are at risk are people of color. So the effects of COVID-19 are bad as we have this, and they didn't really know whether to call it a second wave or have we never finished the first wave.
Yeah.
But they were saying as things rise, again, it's worse
Yeah.
for us than it is. It's worse financially
Yep.
for people of color. So the effects of the pandemic are much harder hit on the people of color. So what is more important? Masks and social distancing. So it really just drove a lot of the points home. They talked about, I asked a question because they were talking about how other countries dealt with it, like New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
New Zealand just shuts it down. Turns
New
out the
Zealand
airports
kicked ass.
They do
I love
all the
that
things-
prime minister.
Yeah, there's leadership there. So the question that I asked
There's leadership
in the
there. Was that a dig? Was that a dig,
well,
Carl?
so here's the problem. Here is what I had asked. I said, how, because we see what New Zealand's done, we see what some of the Asian countries have done. How in the United States, when we have 50 different areas, geographical areas that are managed 50 different ways, so you
Right.
could have a sensible governor in one state, and then right next to him you've got another governor that doesn't want to shut anything down, doesn't
Right.
want masks, and people go back and forth between the states. So what is the answer in the United States? Because our political dynamics are a lot different than across, in other countries. And it did come down to leadership. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to hear that we really needed a national response,
Yeah.
and you needed cooperation between the states and the federal government. I think that underlines one of the problems we have is where this pandemic has become politicized in the United States. It's somehow people think it affects Democrats or Republicans worse or not as bad or whatever. So interesting discussion. Got a lot of good information. We'll share that information. But they do expect the flu season to be bad.
Yeah.
And they're concerned about the available of flu vaccines, specifically for the flu. So I would pay some close attention to the availabilities of flu vaccines as we approach the fall. We'll get more information from Dr. Samoa, the PI COVID-19 task force, the response team. Will get more information out for you on that because the fall is something that we need to pay attention to.
Right.
They are expecting changes in the way that we deal with COVID. So that's what I got out of it. It was a quick.
Good job.
It was only
Ethnic Media Services.
Ethnic Media Services. They
Big
do a good
shout
job.
out to them.
There was over 110 different ethnic media outlets on the Zoom, which is nice to see. Obviously, not all Pacific Islander, but
Yeah.
it's good to see Asian, Hispanic,
Right.
African American, all different kinds of media outlets on there.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, when I could go to them because I'm working, and I don't have access to
Sure.
my laptop. It's a great source of information. Great source of information. So big shout out to the Ethnic Media Services and and they've been covering the pandemic and the census like crazy. So we get a lot of our information from them.
Deal with the census. Is it October? Is
It's
it
September.
That date keeps moving.
So I know it keeps moving because of COVID-19 and crazy people leading the country.
Leadership.
But yeah, the census, if you haven't filled out your census 2020, what the hell are you waiting for? Pacific Islanders were way undercounted in 2010, and so we need you to fill out your census. Let's get counted. We're missing out on resources, tons and tons of resources, stuff for just your local community. You could be missing out on a school being built. So you probably have to drive 10 miles to get to the next school. If you get counted and there's enough of you counted, they could build a school right across the street from you, like me.
Right.
And so we're missing out on a lot. We need to be counted. They don't ask if you're, your citizenship, they just need you to
They
be
want to
counted.
know how many people are in the country.
Right. They want to know how many people are in the country, and they break it down by your ethnicity or your race. And so there's 9 simple questions. And when they ask you for your race or your ethnicity, there is a box you can check. If you don't see your island marked, say Fiji is not listed, check the empty box and write in Fiji. We need to be counted. It's so important. And we need to get the resources that are, that should be in the area that you live.
Here's something to think about. If Biden is successful in November of this year, he will take office, and he's going to put more money into the states. There's going to be a bigger budget in the federal budget.
awesome is
to
that?
give money to the states because Democrats? That's how Democrats do.
Give,
There
give,
is
give.
more funding. So,
Yes.
if that's the case, if we're not counted correctly, a whole bunch of money is going to get sent out to counties and states and cities
Right.
from the federal government, and we're not going to get our fair share.
Yes.
So
So
we
there
got
you
till
go.
September 30th. Get that in place. If Biden is the one that ends up winning in November, that money that's going to get increased for the states and the cities and the counties, we need our fair share.
Yes, and we gonna get it. We gonna get it. So I need you to fill it out. Let me know when you do, and you get a kudos. You get resources in your community. That's what you get, and we need to be counted.
Well, yeah,
We
and
need to be counted.
your kids and your nieces and your nephews that are 6 right now, they're not going to get another chance to correct that stuff till they're 16. If they're
Yes.
10, they don't get another chance till they're 20 and in college. So
Exactly.
it has far-reaching issues. Like Nackie said, in 2010 we were undercounted.
Yes.
I guarantee you we were undercounted in 2000 and 1990 and
Yes,
19. I
so
mean, all of
let's do this.
those things where we participate in voting, in census, and any of those things at the federal level, we underrepresent ourselves year after year.
Yes. So let's do that. Let's do this.
Do this.
Let's do this.
Do that stuff. Do
Loina,
that
Loina Kane, good morning. Cecilia Ale, good morning, sister. Robert Tango, Nina Tautolo, good morning. If we can ask you to share. Thank you, Loto. Loto's on you. Get counted. So, tons and tons of. What else do we got?
I think we've got enough through the bills that we can pay the rest of them at the end.
Oh,
I think
okay,
we get into the
okay.
fun stuff now.
Yeah. So we started this new thing called Snackie with Nackie, and I'm going to tell you why it started. All of us are on Zoom meetings every day, 10 times a day. Like Carl is on from 6 o'clock in the morning until sometimes 8 p.m. at night. And so we're on all the time. And when every Zoom meeting I'm in, I'm eating, I'm snacking. I'm always snacking. And people are sending me side messages. Leah and Yvette mostly like, what are you snacking on? What are you snacking on?
So how this progressed was originally Nackie would just turn off her camera. Right. And everybody knew when the camera was off, Nackie was eating. And then after a while, she just quit turning the camera off.
Right. I was just like, forget it. I just started eating in front of everybody because it was like week 2 of Zoom meetings. And so I just started eating in front of everybody. Ray Follow, good morning, brother.
Good morning, Ray.
So we decided to, I seen people doing food reviews, and I had the name Snackie with Nackie because Yvette said, ooh, Snackie with Nackie, and I was like, I like that name. What am I going to do with it? And so I seen people doing food reviews, and I thought I was going to review snacks that I ate.
And you were
but-
getting harassed by me. So
Yes.
I had come over and made a complete YouTube studio for Nackie here in her house, complete with studio lighting, a boom microphone, a $1,000 camera. I mean, like, we set this up for content, and it was it's been here a little bit. So I started harassing her, going, "What content are you going to come up with that in-house studio that
Right.
you have over there?" And boy, did she come up with something awesome.
Yeah, I was feeling tons of pressure. And he's like, I said, oh, Snackie with Nackie, I like that name. And it literally was like a couple of months, right? It was a couple of months. And I couldn't, people started doing food review and I just wasn't feeling it, right? So I'm on TikTok. I'm not TikTok famous, but I'm on TikTok. And I seen this lady, and I did not make this idea up. I seen this lady on TikTok, and I watched her ask her followers for money. And I watched her for a couple of months, and they would send her money, and she would go and give people, servers, the essential workers, and I would cry every single time. And so I said, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. And I never did because I was too chicken. And so then somebody kept pressuring me to hurry up and start
If
something.
you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing.
Right, totally. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. But I was going to do it on my personal page. I'm going to do a Venmo challenge because that's what she calls her thing, Venmo challenge. And so I tell T Mena, and I said, ooh, Mena, I think I'm going to do the Venmo challenge. And Mena says, And I totally completely forgot about Snackie with Nackie. And then Mena goes, Mama, you should call it something. And I said, ding, 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 ding. Snackie with Nackie.
I never heard the part where you forgot.
Yes, I did. I totally forgot about Snackie with Nackie. And when Mena said, Mama, you need to call it something. Don't call it Venmo Challenge. You need to make it your own. And I said, oh my God, Snackie with Nackie. So I figured wherever I go snacky and eat, I will take you guys with me. And the part about it is that I would ask our followers and friends and family to donate.
For how much?
50 cents.
50 cents?
50 cents.
$50?
50 cents.
$50?
50 cents.
$150?
50 cents. 50 people.
Oh my gosh.
50.50.
Some people put the decimal point in the wrong place.
Right. So, Rhonda, good morning. Viv, Alatisami, Mata Utia. Look at me. I hit the vowels. So, we last Sunday, we decided to ask our followers and friends and just everyone for 50 cents. And of course, a lot of you did not listen, but by the end of the show, we had already collected $100. And I was like, oh my God. Now here's my thought. And I've said this a million times is I thought with 50 cents, we would get $20.
Maybe 50. Maybe 50 bucks.
At $50. And I would go get Starbucks and pay the person at the drive-through window, $50.
It was funny when Men and I talked about it. We were like, I knew it was going to be $20. I'm like, yeah, but I was thinking like 300, 400, 500 tops. Like, we were way off too.
Dang, I wasn't even thinking that. I literally was thinking $20, and then we got $100, and I was like, all right, $200, and we'll go, go around all around the world, and So, after Faika last Sunday, we had like $100, and then. Gosh, we wake up I wake up the next morning or Tuesday, I think, and it was at $326 of people just donating. And then the next day I wake up and I post $326, and I go, I'll just post every day to make sure. I want to be as transparent as I can with your 50 cents. And so I wake up and I put the total out so everybody can see $326 or something like that. And then the next day I wake up and it's $581, and I literally am crying because I can't believe how generous and that everyone is being, right? And so then the following day I wake up and it's $1,069. I'm freaking out. I literally was almost late to work because I think I was in shock. And so, hi Lena. And so then after that, like Thursday, was it Thursday? Friday. So Friday I wake up and it's $1,400. And I'm like, oh my God, $1,400. We're going to tip somebody $1,400 because of all of you. We're going to tip somebody $1,400. So that was in the morning of Friday. So I drive home, I get home and I start my snacking and I'm talking to Carl and I get on to check Venmo. And it literally was at $1,653.50. $1,653.50. So I get on. Good morning, Mele.
Morning.
Big Rich. Good morning. I get on. I go live on Friday night to tell you guys how much I've collected, how much we're going to go tip the person, $1,653. And then we decided to break it in half and tip two people $818.50 or something like that. So Carl and I talk, and then I'm like, oh my God. So I wake up.
That's exactly what she said.
And that's exactly what I said. We wake up Saturday morning because we're going to go look to eat somewhere. I literally wake up, check Venmo and I had already had my husband go pull out the money the day before. And I wake up to check Venmo and it says $2,008.50. I fell the fuck out. I couldn't believe that it said $2,008.
Back to the bank to get more money out.
Back to the bank we go to pull more money out. $2,008.50. And then Mena said she will make it an even dollar, and so it was $2,000. So we split it in half. We decided to tip two people $1,005 even. And so we were going to go to breakfast and we were going to go to lunch and tip 2 people. Good morning, Mark. Good morning. So I think the thing why I just that it hit so big is that we're living in a pandemic and all we hear bad stuff not bad, but just sad news of just COVID-19 and the pandemic and people losing their jobs and oh my gosh, and essential workers. And when we say essential workers, which is, the police department, nurses and doctors and our food servers. And a lot of servers are people of color, right? We live in multi-generational homes. It's the food servers to me, they go to work every day and most of them are making, minimum wage, right? And they live off of the tips. And a lot of them are not, and not that a lot of them, but a lot of them that I've met have been single mothers or students struggling to get by. And so they all live by their tips. And so I think, asking everyone to donate 50 cents, really collectively, we gathered this money together and together we gave this tip and it felt so good it's all of us, right? We all together gave $2,000. So
we all made the moment that we had with number one person that we gifted. We're going to go into those people, but we're all part of that moment. We're all part of that gratitude, of that feeling of, that is an amazing feeling to see somebody that grateful.
Yes.
And it's something that we had talked about early on, that there wasn't enough good things on social media. There needed to be more positivity, like saying, hey, she's a good person, just doesn't get you on the news feed. So that's when we started doing the meets. We started doing, hey, meet this person. This is a 14-year-old volleyball player that wants to do this and wants to go to this school. So that's how we started. And I think the progression of it, the only reason we're able to have the moments that we had yesterday is because there's so many of you that we're able to reach. We'll go into this later, but we do not want people giving $50. We want people to give responsibly.
Right.
50 cents is really what we're asking. It's unbelievable what we did, and let's go into those moments.
Right.
But we're going to talk about that later, everybody. It's 50 cents, and if you donated $150 or $50 or something, skip some weeks. You've paid ahead.
Right. So it was just a crazy emotional feeling to give and to have all of us, your 50 cents made someone's day or bless them with, money to pay a bill. And we all have our own struggles, right? We all have our own struggles. We all have 50 cents in the couch. And I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if we just all collectively gave this money? And people gave and gave and gave and gave. It blew my mind. It blew my mind of all the love, and that we gave this server, letting this server, both of them know that there's still hope. There's still goodness in this world. And then they got to feel it yesterday and because of all of you, people gave I don't have the words to explain the feeling that I had of being there with these 2 people the first place
Let's
we
start
went
with how was your breakfast?
My breakfast was really good.
It was good? What'd you have?
It was good. It was, I had German crepes. German crepes and sausage and hash browns and scrambled eggs. And so it was really, really good.
I had crepes too, but I had the Swedish. I think I had the ones with the blueberry, lingonberry.
Yeah.
Both really good. I like hash browns too much, so we're gonna have to pick some healthy places, or I need to make better choices probably off of the menu. But the breakfast was good. It was hard to really enjoy,
right?
Because I was so looking at Ray,
like
how's he gonna react?
Yeah.
Like, is he it was, there were so many thoughts going through my head that the breakfast was good, but I was so caught up in the moment. I didn't,
too.
it might have been really good or really bad, but I wasn't
Yeah.
tasting really the food.
I was so excited. I couldn't even concentrate on my food. I think I just picked at it, and I was so excited. Our server's name was Ray. He was the nicest, most gentle man, and he was so sweet, and he was funny.
We started off irritating as hell. We asked, where do you want to sit? And we said, we want to sit over there. So he sat us over there. We sat down, and my leg was in the sun. I'm like, I don't want to sit here. So then we asked to move, and he cleared a table, washed it all off, cleaned it like to the COVID standards. I mean,
Right.
he had a couple different kinds of cleaner on it.
Right.
Asked us to let it dry.
Right.
Sat us at the new table. Showed
Right.
no irritation. Was just completely friendly and easy to get along with. But yeah, we didn't start off too well. We were the irritating customer for a
Yeah,
while.
we were totally the irritating customer. Move us here. Can I have some more water? Can I have some ketchup? Can I have this? I mean, every irritating thing you can think of, we did it. And
At
he
one
was
point,
so
Nackie says,
sweet.
"Can I get that water?" Because she had asked for water 2 times before, and he just pointed across the table, and he's like, "I brought it over
"It's
there.
right there, okay?"
It's right in front of Nackie."
I know. He was like, it's right there. Do you want more? I was like, oh, my bad. So I think I was just so nervous for him, so nervous for him that I couldn't even concentrate on my breakfast. But when we gave it, good morning, Fatima, Maggie Cuovo Toka Ilangi. There you go. And Sam and Candace, Fia Ali. So I'm sorry I did that. I just wanted to shout people out and ask you to share, because I know a lot of you donated. So I want to make sure everyone gets to see and hear the story.
Yeah, whether you donated or not, it's a
Right.
great moment for anybody to see.
Yes. So Ray, so after we were done with our meal, Ray came over and I explained to him about Snackie with Nackie, and he was like, oh, that's nice. Hurry up and get off the table.
When we sat down, we said, "Hey, we're filming stuff for we have a media company, and we're going to be filming our breakfast. We might catch you coming or going." And he's like, "Oh, no, that's fine. And as he's walking off, I go, "Hey, if we make it big, we're going to pay you." And he laughed like, "Yeah." And I was in my mind, I'm like, "No, we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you anyway."
So he comes over and I explained the whole thing, and we posted the video. I know we were going to go live, but it was so hot yesterday that what we were filming, it looked blurry at the time, and so and then Mena did a good job of chopping it up, and so
She did an amazing
She
job.
did an amazing job. So Ray, who was our first server, we counting out the money. I was shaking and crying while counting the money, and then they were laughing at me because he was like, "Oh my God, no, that's too much money." I was like, "Put your hand out."
Nackie was completely like, "Mom, put your hand out. Put your hand out. You're going to get this money." And then it was obviously we're outside. It's COVID-19 time, so we're eating basically in the parking lot underneath a covered area. But everybody that was there was clapping at the end because they could see what was going on. Great moment. He was he was overwhelmed, but he was very nervous.
Yes.
And I think that he was trying to be very professional.
Yes.
At the same time, and he was very thankful. So it was a great moment. I think we were as nervous as Ray because it was our first time.
Yeah, it was our first time. We've got to learn how to. And I cry too much, so I've got to learn how to control myself.
That's part of the show.
I know, but when he was getting the money, after he got the money, I could tell he wanted to hug me because he went in, and I was like, coronavirus. So, he was trying to go in, but I was so grateful, and I wanted to hug it up too, but I wasn't sure, and he wasn't sure. So it bless his heart.
Well, it was a
so
different
sweet.
environment than the
Right.
second place we went was. I mean, it was a corporate setting.
Yeah.
At the first, it's a chain.
Yeah.
It's very regimented.
Right,
And I think that there were so many other workers around that he was really nervous about how to react.
Right.
And then we were nervous, so I don't think that was making him feel
Yes.
any more comfortable
Yes,
because we were
yeah.
like, we don't know what to do either.
Yeah.
But the moment was pure, and
Yeah.
it felt amazing.
Yeah. We posted the video, and we pick random people, and we totally are not going to people that we know. We just go and sit down, and whoever is our server is who's going to get the money. And so
We actually toss things around in our head like can we go there? Do we know anybody? Because if we
Right.
know anybody, we're not going to that place. So we actually thought that through.
Yeah.
Like, do you know somebody at that
Yeah,
place?
we totally. If we knew the server, we out. Sorry. And so when after Ray got his money and we left, and then we went home and Mena chopped up the video just to make it. We didn't want to make it too long because they videotaped the whole thing. And so after we posted the video, Mena's friend texted her and said, God bless your heart, that is my uncle, and he actually told his family about it, and then gave money to his family, right, Mena? He gave money to his co-workers and his family when he got home. So it was awesome that somebody knew him and was telling us a little bit about the story after we had left. So Samir Eseta Sakal, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for donating, everyone that tuned in. Anna Lapele, good morning. Vic is crying. Yeah, I know, right, Vic? I'm always crying. Vic knows me. She knows me and her cry at everything. Kazani Kalani Finau, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to ask you to share this podcast so that everybody can get, hear what happened with their 50 cents. So we left Ray and we came back, and I took a nap because it was 108 degrees in Sassoon yesterday. It was 108 degrees, and which I can hang with 108. It just burnt me out a little.
When we got back, it was probably only 90 degrees because we got back from breakfast. When
Yes.
we went out to do number 2,
Lunch.
we went to go find the
Yes.
second person to gift. We walked out towards the car, and I was like, okay,
Yes.
this is way hotter than it was earlier.
Yeah. So then our second, after we were done with our nap, we met Sam and Flo at the second place we went to.
By nap, what Nackie means is that she fell asleep on the couch, I fell asleep on the couch, and Mena worked on the video. That's what the nap was.
That's exactly what I meant. Read between the lines, folks. Read between the lines. So after that, we went to lunch. We met the Masolis at this place nearby. And we sat down. It was 108 degrees, and we were talking about because we lived here for a minute, we're kind of used to the weather, and that anybody from San Francisco, like Vet or Mel or Maury, they would be dying in this weather. So we joked about that. But we got seated at a table, and again, we were difficult customers because we got seated at one table and we didn't like it.
Oh, so
and so we moved to another table.
Before we moved to the other table, Mena and I and Sam, we all like moved everything around on that side of the patio. I mean, we moved tables, multiple tables. We moved multiple umbrellas, and then we just gave up on that and walked to another part of the patio and left it all messed up over there and just sat at another place.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. So we are 2 for 2 for being awful customers. So they sat us at one side. We didn't like it. We went and sat at another table. So by the time our server or waitress Mio came over, she was like, "Oh,
yeah, we wrecked that other side of the patio."
And in my head, I can hear these mofos. So we sat down and had a really good meal. I had the jambalaya.
It was so good. I was full. I was still, but didn't stop me from ordering a burger.
Yeah.
But I was still kind of full from breakfast. And when you order food and you're not hungry and it's still good, that's some really good food.
Yeah, it was really good. So then we ordered our food, and
I had a burger.
You had a burger.
And mine was medium.
Medium, exactly.
And there was another burger at the table.
There was another burger. It was Sam. Sam likes so if you don't know Sam, he likes his meat well done.
4 wells.
Yeah, 4 wells. He don't like to see no red for our whole
No
life.
pink, no
Everywhere
red.
we go, Sam's food has to be well. If he sees pink, we are out of there. So he stressed that he likes his food. He wanted his burger well done. And
Then she
Mio,
repeated it back to him.
yes, Mio, who was fabulous, repeated it back to him and took our order. And then he actually got his burger. It was not burnt. It was just well cooked. So big shout out to them. Mio and the cooks, Mio did a great job of letting them know.
She did a good job of managing us.
Yes.
Because we were a lot.
We were difficult. So I know, right? I was like, oh my God, we just make so much trouble. And then, and again, I was so nervous for her. You know, I was like, oh my God, we give this money away. And I started stumbling. And actually, when I was giving, I forgot the amount. I was like, how much are we giving? So
Mena saves the day again.
Mena always saves the day. So it was after lunch. We actually had a really good time there.
Yeah.
She was funny. She was,
She
really took
she was bright,
really
she was
good care of it.
engaged,
Yes.
she was funny.
Yes.
It was 108 degrees. Literally, it was 108
Yes.
degrees out. And COVID, so wherever we're eating outside.
Right.
And I kind of forgot how hot it was.
Yeah. She did make it comfortable
Yeah.
for us. And she was in all black,
Yeah.
long pants. Their uniform is black pants, black shirt, black apron. I mean, oh my gosh, I
Black
was
mask.
hot for her.
Yeah.
I was hot for her. So she did a great job of making us feel comfortable
Yeah.
and forgetting that it was 108 degrees outside. So, and she kept, making sure we were hydrated. I drank so much water while I was there. Thank you very much, because I'm bad at drinking water. So she literally...
She was joking with the
yeah.
other tables. You could hear, she was engaging everybody. So,
Yeah.
Great job.
Great job. And her name is Mio. And so when we posted the video, and she really, really touched my heart. I was like, God led us to her and to Ray. God led us to her. I was so glad that we gave to a student. And she was very, very grateful, and just, I don't know. She started crying, and then I was crying. I couldn't even think after that. After
She was funny. She said,
I couldn't even think.
After you gave her the money, she was, just getting over crying. And then
Yeah.
she goes, I thought you were going to give me 50 cents.
And she was so funny. I loved that she was, she's told us she's a student, and that
She's going to be a dentist.
She's going to be a dentist. She's working there, working her way there to pay for school.
She's going to be an amazing dentist.
She is. Her bedside manner is going to be amazing. She
can handle us.
Yeah. If she can handle us, she can handle anybody. So big shout out to Mio for an amazing job. And her mom got on social media yesterday and just thanked us and gave us a little insight about how wonderful her child is.
And great job, Mama.
Great job,
because that
Mama.
is a intelligent, bright, thankful. There's
Yes.
just a lot of adjectives to describe your daughter, and they're all good.
Yeah, all good. So it was an amazing, and the food was good. And so if you want to know where it is, inbox me. I'll tell you. Inbox me, and I'll let you know where we went. But it was a great, great event, and I can't even explain the feeling of giving. It's an amazing feeling to and. It's not, but the thing that I love is that it's not just us. It was all of you, all of us together. All of us together gave to people, made them have a great day, and restored, if maybe we restored hope.
Well, that's the power of the community.
Yes,
that
power
is
of
the
the
power of
community.
community.
Yes.
When you can give 50 cents.
50 cents.
We're going to stress that as we go into week 2 of this. 50 cents.
Right.
Because if it's $200 or $300, that's huge.
It's
a huge tip.
Huge tip.
So, that's just the power of everybody who has goodwill, good intention,
Right.
love, a feeling of giving,
Yes.
because it's a small amount, and then
Right.
look at what that can do.
Look what,
It was in the power of a group.
Power of a group, right? So it was a great, great feeling, and we thank you all for participating. And again, we're going into week 2 of Snackie with Nackie. Come Snackie with me next week, and we will bring you along. And of course, we're asking for 50 cents. If you gave more than 50 cents this week, you do not
You
get
pay
to give
forward.
again. You do not get to give again. We're actually stressing 50 cents. And if you can share with your friends on your Facebook page or your Instagram page, and asking them to donate for 50 cents and to see this amazing work of God that He's leading us to give to people that need and are essential workers.
And that's how we're going to grow this. We're going to grow this not by having the same people give 50 cents every week. We're going to grow this by share it with your friends and your family. let's get a huge group of people giving truly 50 cents. And we can reach those big numbers. So we do not want the same people every week trying to reach big numbers. We want big numbers too, but that's going to come with a broader reach and more people that we get to. And it's also more people that get to share the experience.
Yes, that's it, is sharing the experience and knowing, watching us give to these people. You know, you are a part of making someone's day, or that feeling of, oh my God, look what I did with 50 cents, right?
Right.
It's look what I did with 50 cents. That's the feeling that we want to share with everyone. We want you to share it with your friends and family, the love that you give, the experience, the hope that you give, what 50 cents can do. So thank you so much if you gave this week, and we appreciate and love everything that you've done. And a lot of you have gone above and beyond. So I don't want to see your name show up in my Venmo account.
Give responsibly.
Give responsibly, because it's a pandemic going on, and I don't want you to give if you need it. And 50 cents is like, it's not, I mean, it's a small amount for me.
Should be a small amount for everybody.
Yes.
That's the goal. A small amount for everybody. Have a whole bunch of everybody's.
Yes.
And come up with a big number.
Yes. There you go. A whole bunch of people giving 50 cents will make it a big amount.
Right.
Not
people giving
love
50
that.
bucks. Thank you if you gave more than 50 cents.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Another point, it is at Nackie. It is not at Poly by Design. It is at Nackie.
Yeah, it's at Nackie, Nackie. Cash App is at Nackie5. And just remember the number 5, because that's how many babies I got. So I got 5 babies. So Nackie5 on Cash App and Nackie on Venmo. My picture is there. It's Nackie. No double letters, just Nackie. 50 cents is what we ask, because it's just, that's how much it costs to make someone feel good and to give to another human being. 50 cents. Isn't that awesome?
We can make an impact with 50 cents.
Yes.
Let's see. Census 2020, we went over that. The date has changed. It's September 30th.
Yeah.
So get that date in there. All My Usos School Supply Drive-By, sponsored by All My Usos, Amu, and Fatasi. It is hosted at the SCDC facility in Sunnydale in San Francisco. That's on September 5th at 10 a.m. Supplies are limited, so come early. They're serving on a first-come, first-served basis. Contact Christine Mawia at 650-219-1081 or Brother Soma at 415-299-9028. Once again, that's Cree at 650-219-1081 or Soma at 415-299-9028.
Awesome. They do a great job there, and they're having it at SCDC, who, by the way, is serving your community. Patsy Tito, who was on this morning, Tayal Manuia's sister, her and her crew there are doing a great job during this pandemic, getting food out. They had just got done with PIYA, Pacific Islander Youth Alliance, where they were teaching and running classes virtually. Please go follow them on all social media outlets. They're doing a great job. If you need any help, reach out to SCDC. Go follow their page. They have a short application you can fill. If they can't help you and you're not in the area, they will direct you to someone who can. So go ahead and reach out to SCDC. Those folks are doing a great job. Lynn and Tino and Auntie John and Vet and Val. I mean, there's tons of people there that can help you with and try to get you what you need. So thank you so much to Samoan Community Development Center. Big shout out to San Francisco Tongans Rise Up. They are also feeding the community with free food. So reach out to Anna Mahina. San Francisco Tongans Rise Up. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you're doing.
All these people doing great things. In Sacramento, we have My Sister's House. It's a nonprofit organization in the region for almost 20 years. It's dedicated to serving Asian, Pacific Islanders, and other underserved women and children impacted by domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. COVID-19 has left many domestic violence survivors isolated without any way of learning that help is available to them. Their 24/7 multilingual crisis line is 916-428-3271, and that is the easiest and fastest way to ask for help or questions. Once again, that is 916-428-3271.
Awesome. Big shout out to Marty Jams, who is one of our followers, is doing a great job. Sasang Alwenga. Ooh, Sasang Alwenga. That's interesting name. Nadine Tufono. Good morning. Tony Tutongi. Konionia. mafileo. Hey, I'm trying. Let me try that one more time.
Give it another go.
Konionia mafileo. Hello.
There you go.
Vi. Good morning, Vi.
Good morning, Vi.
Checking in from Las Vegas. So we had a great week. We are continuing Snackie with Nackie. Come Snackie with me next week. We're going to find another server, and we're not looking. It's just wherever I feel like eating, we're going to sit down, and whoever is my server, we're going to donate to them.
And just wait till we get a server that Nackie doesn't like, and she's still got to hand over a gang of money.
No. If you funky with me, you are not getting tipped. This is just, you have to be a good server, basically. You've got to, you know what I mean? So if you're bad and you are mean to me, trust you will not get anything. It's just, you have to spread love to get love, right? So Cecilia, thank you. Chris Perita, Tayal Manuia, to everyone. I don't know. We just want to thank everybody. This Saturday, August 22nd, Vaipuna Oleola, which is a church that is doing a food drive. They're partnering with Northern Pacific Islander Task Force, which is Tao Ve'e and Natalie Asun. They will be giving out food at their church parking lot. They are at 606 Shirin in Daly City. Their parking lot is in the back street on Oriente. There's a Kentucky at the corner. There's also a Pacific Islander restaurant food place there, and I don't even know what they're called. But they're right there, Oriente and Bayshore. Is it Bayshore? Or Geneva? Geneva. Oriente and Geneva, make a right or a left into that street and go to the end. You'll see you'll see a big truck and a canopy, white canopy. They'll be giving away food. What they ask you to do is drive through the parking lot. Do not get out of your car. Pop your trunk. A volunteer will load food into your car. Please wear a mask when you pull up, and talk to Lingy, who will most likely come over to your car, and the volunteers will donate food. We'll put the food in the back of your car. So it's a great, if you need food, and it's great food. All food is great, right? Because I'm a fat cow. All food is great. So, right. Pull up by Puna Oleola. They're on Oriente. Go get food. If you know somebody who needs food, please direct them that way. Also, August 22nd at 10 a.m. on the PBD page and Pacific Islander COVID-19 response team page, we will be having our COVID Talanoa at 10 a.m. next Saturday. So check us out at 10 a.m. and then head over to go get food between 10 and 12. And 3 is the food drive. We are 10 to 11-ish. So on our PBD page. So
tune in Tuesday as we have our midweek. I don't know do we landed guests
yes
for Tuesday?
So we have they're doing right now COVID-19 testing. What is that called? They're testing the medicine, and there's
clinical trials.
They're having clinical trials, and we're going to have Dr. Samoa on, we're going to have Nia on, and Dr. Andrew, who is from the Bay Area, and they're having clinical trials here, and they're looking for Pacific Islanders or people that participants.
Volunteers
there you go.
For that.
So
unlike Russia, we're going to actually test our vaccine before we put it out on the market.
Tony is checking in from Boise, Idaho. Good morning, Boise, Idaho. Good morning, Vegas. Everyone that's tuned in, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing the podcast. Thank you for donating to Snackie with Nackie. 50 cents, people, 50 cents. No more. If you donated last week more than 50 cents, do not donate this week. You're covered.
Don't want to see you.
Well, I don't want to see you. 50 cents is all I'm asking. 50 cents. See what your 50 cents does this week. So I think, anything else?
That's it. That's a wrap.
So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Thank you to our Timena, who edits and produces and does everything crazy funky to make us look good. And it's a lot of work, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the Faika podcast. Please follow us on all social media outlets. Tune in every Sunday and Tuesday. Check us out. Go check out everyone that we talked about. Shop Pacifica. Go to Samoan Solutions page. Check out their Shop Pacifica highlight. They also have Fangongo Samoa, which is coming out virtual. So go follow them. Get updates. Thank you, everyone, again, for tuning in. We love you. Come back to FICO with us.
baby, what you done to me. You got